What's up, Dirty Side Gets Down? For the more astute followers, you'll notice the BMW has moved from its place in the lift bay to the middle bay of the shop where the Nova used to be. I know y'all are excited to see the Nova, and you will see the Nova on this channel, but plans may have changed. Some things are up in the air with it. It will be on the channel. It might even be on the channel in the same capacity. We're not sure yet. But as the late great Coolio once said, slide, but that's the path. I got something brand new for that. Let's get into it.
Dirty Side Gets Down, you'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
So John with the Nova realized that it was going to be a little while till we got to the track in the Nova. He was kind of itching to get there. So he came across something that's going to get us there a whole lot quicker. 1968 Chevy Camaro. I kind of wish I could have gotten some views of this thing outside, but one thing I did get is when we picked it up in Mexico. I'll show you that. So that kind of gives you a little better overview of the car, but now we can get in on some details. And this thing seems to have been really well built about 20 years ago from what I can tell. For one, judging by the paint and this hood scoop, that really isn't necessary. So I'll take you to the inside first because I want to keep you around for the good stuff that's under the hood. So the doors have been gutted, sheet metal door panels, Lexan glass. They've got MSD controlling everything, two-step, rev limit, shifter. Real basic inside, just the tack, oil pressure, and water. Real basic seat, ratchet shifter, aluminum floor pans, tubbed. Cage welds are pretty good. The cage was certified 2 years ago for 850s. Now in this car's form right now, I don't think it's going to do that. Kind of leaning towards about a 950, 975 kind of deal. Let's get under the hood. I know that's what you're waiting on. All right, so this is a big block. We believe it's a 454 that's been just bored out for a rebuild. One thing about this car is we really don't have a whole lot of information on it. We do know it was built in a town about 30 minutes from here. But then it went all the way to Mississippi. We're in Florida. And then where we got it was from a guy that bought it from the guy in Mississippi. He really didn't know a whole lot about it other than it was running on alcohol. But then he switched and put a gas carburetor on it. So 4500 carburetor. Pro billet distributor locked out. It's got some pretty big headers on it. Looks like 2-inch maybe. No alternator. It's got 2 batteries in the back, so you got to charge it every run. Still 12 volt though. A vacuum pump, electric water pump, little radiator. It's got a 2-speed power glide. Judging by the video that you saw just a minute ago, everything seems to work. So it's got a pretty good rubbed on big block power glide. And GM 12 bolt, which we'll see how the 12 bolt holds up. It's got 32-inch tires on it. With the rev limit set in it, it's looking at a top speed of 146 miles an hour. So that's what kind of leads me to the mid to high 9s in the quarter. It's got a nitrous bottle bracket in it, but I don't see any other nitrous stuff. So I don't know if they ever got that far. But I'm sure looking at this paint, y'all know we're gonna have to paint this thing before it even leaves this shop. I'd really like to take it to the track and just kind of see what it'll do, feel it out. But yeah, that old paint job's pretty rough. Now, the car is in pretty good shape though. There's really no rust on it or anything like that. It was definitely a quality build just back in the day. Some things have changed and we'll update it, but we're going to run it like it is and just kind of see what happens.
2,000 years later.
Alrighty, well fast forward about 6 months, which I hate to say that it took this long, but at the same time, nobody wants to watch body work, so that's what we've been doing. A lot of sort of trial and error and things, trying to figure out how to convert a full race car into a street car. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting there. In that time, depending on what you've been paying attention to, we did come up with this filming area for sort of the more technical things. It's nowhere near finished, but it's getting there. And then we completely closed in this wall here to help keep the overspray in that middle bay when we're spraying the car. But let's move on to the car now, because I know that's what you're here for, not a shop update. So we've been working on this thing for about 6 months. Now let's show you what we've gotten done here. So first thing you'll notice is the fiberglass front end is gone. We tried our best to work with that fiberglass front end and put headlights in it and all that stuff, and I definitely could have gotten it done. We did actually get it done. We just really weren't happy with it. We couldn't mount a factory grill in there, and we didn't like the grill we came up with, so it's all sheet metal now. Back to basically factory stuff, so stock replacement parts will fit. We'll move down here. It's got a bigger radiator now, so it can be a street car. Don't laugh at my aluminum welds too much on the radiator. I'm just kind of figuring that out. Can't really see because we got a lot of stuff stored in the car. But we did mount a second seat, and both front seats are matching now. Had to do some structure under the floor to get that second seat in there. This car's a back half car, so really everything firewall back there's nothing factory. It's all tube frame. So I had to make some structure under there to mount the seat. We got new doors for it because the old doors were gutted completely, and we're trying to make windows roll up and down. We also got some factory glass for it. Come back here. So the trunk is still fiberglass, and it's got quick latches. That's all mounted and set up, ready to go. Back here, where the taillights were, was cut out and flat panels put in. So to try to put taillights in there was kind of a nightmare. So we cut this whole back section out, welded in a new one so we can mount taillights in there. We got just a steel cowl hood for it. And it's got to have a cowl to fit that carburetor under it. And coming down this side, pretty much all the same stuff as the other side. So now we just got to scuff it up, finish priming the whole thing, give it a good block sand, and then it's time for some color. I'll time lapse some of it. I'm not going to bore you with all the crazy work that goes into it. It's pretty rare that anybody really wants to watch body work and stuff like that getting done on YouTube. It's more about the end result. So let's go. So now that the Camaro is all jammed out, it's time to get this thing put back together and get some paint on it. this far through the video, I really appreciate you watching. This thing was a lot of work to get to this point from where it started. Next time you see this car, we're taking it to the track to see what it can do. So be sure to subscribe, maybe hit that bell notification so you don't miss it. Also, throw down in the comments, positive or negative. All of that helps boost the channel. So we'll see you next time.